Hello everyone, I welcome all of you to this fourth lecture of rock mechanics and tunneling. So, in our previous class just we have started discussing about the classification of rock mass based on origin. So, today we will discuss about this topic in detail. So, we will continue with our discussion. We will discuss about igneous rock, sedimentary rock and metamorphic rock in detail, and at the end we will also discuss about the rock cycle, how the geological process of forming rock. So, classification based on origin, just this diagram I have shown you in our previous class, and just quick revision. Igneous rock can be divided into two categories: intrusive type of igneous rock and extrusive type of igneous rock. Then sedimentary rock can have three different types: clastic, chemical and organic. And third category of rock is the metamorphic rock, which can have two categories: foliated and non-foliated. So, first igneous rock. So, this word igneous is derived basically from the Latin word ignis, which means fire, and how it forms the formation. If we want to discuss about that, we can say igneous rocks are crystalline solids formed through cooling and solidification of magma or lava. As you know, magma or lava is there inside our earth, and sometimes that comes out and once they cools down and solidify, they form this igneous rock. So, igneous rocks are crystalline solids formed through cooling and solidification of magma or lava. So, well known examples of igneous rocks are granite, diorite and tuff, etc. There are several, we will discuss about that also. Now, this is an exothermic process, this cooling and this process, the magma actually cools down. So, this is an exothermic process and involves a phase change from the liquid to solid state. So, magma or lava converts into solid material. So, very straightforward, clear. So, this is a big mountain, old mountain, this is also a old mountain, which are basically made of igneous rock, right. Next, as I have stated at the very beginning, there are two types of igneous rock: intrusive igneous rock and extrusive igneous rock. So, you can see, you can here this diagram is indicating this portion here, arrow is provided, you see over there you can see the intrusive igneous rock is written, and here it is written extrusive igneous rock. So, why it is like this? Let us try to understand, that is written over here. In case of intrusive igneous rock, as the name also suggests, cooling and solidification of magma or lava happen where? Deep in the earth surface. So, it is inside the earth surface the cooling and solidification is happening. So, that is why it is called as the intrusive igneous rock, whereas if the cooling and solidification of magma or lava it happen over the ground surface onto the earth surface, then it is called as the extrusive igneous rock. Now, since it is here outside, means onto the earth surface, so obviously it cools very this rapidly, this extrusive cools rapidly as expected, because it is coming with the contact of air, and as a result of it cools down rapidly, whereas the intrusive one, as you can see over here, cools very slowly as it is inside the earth surface. Okay. So, intrusive cools down slowly, extrusive cools down very rapidly. Another thing is, for intrusive igneous rock, these rocks, they are actually the coarse grained structures are formed in case of actually this intrusive type of igneous rock, whereas in case of extrusive igneous rock, fine or very fine grained structure is formed. Another difference is intrusive igneous rock, it contains large crystals, whereas extrusive igneous rock contains small or no crystals. Some of the examples of intrusive igneous rocks are diorite, granite, gabbro, and extrusive igneous rock, basalt, obsidian, tuff, etc. Okay. So, this picture is very clearly indicating about the difference, right. Now, few common igneous rocks, how they look like, typical pictures I will show you, like diorite will look like this, gabbro, granite, obsidian, basalt, and tuff. So, you see they are different from each other, quite different, right. So, these are some typical pictures of common igneous rocks. Okay. Now, let us discuss about the sedimentary rock. So, this sedimentary rocks are type of rock that are formed by physical, chemical and biological breakdown through weathering. Okay. And sedimentary rocks are deposited in layers. We will see one nice diagram, from there the idea will be clear. This you can see that the layer deposition is there, and over the year, because of compaction and cementation, this type of rock structure has developed. This is nothing but a sedimentary rock deposit. This is also a sedimentary rock deposit, a particular pattern we can notice. Anyway, let us try to understand the mechanism, how it forms. So, most of the sedimentary rocks are formed through a series of processes: erosion, deposition, compaction and cementation. These 4 steps are there: erosion, deposition, compaction and cementation. Let us understand what are they. So, this picture, so from this diagram, actually we can clearly see that here what is written: erosion. Now, particles carried away from their source by water or wind. So, by water or wind the particles are carried away. Then what happens? Second thing is deposition. So, here is the deposition: particles deposited as loosely packed sediment. So, first they are deposited as loosely packed sediment. Then third is compaction. So, what happens here? The diagram you can see, they are quite compacted. So, what we can say, particles squeezed together under great pressure. Okay. And finally, the cementation, you see they are cemented, almost they are actually particles glued together. Okay. So, this is the process, 4 steps: erosion, deposition, compaction and cementation. Through that the sedimentary rocks are generally formed. Now, again let us understand what is the source of this term. So, the root of the name of the sedimentary rock is from the Latin word sedimentum, which means settle down. So, you see the basically here what is happening, settling down, it is getting settled down, and then this compaction and finally cementation is happening. So, the source word is Latin word sedimentum. Now, as I have stated, there are 3 types of sedimentary rocks. So, among them first one is clastic sedimentary rocks. What are they? Let us try to understand. Formed by the deposition and subsequent cementation of sand, gravel and limestone. Very simple, deposition and subsequent compaction and cementation of sand, gravel, limestone. Examples are like sandstone, and mudstone, etc. Okay, sandstone, mudstone, typical picture of sandstone and mudstone. Similarly, what is chemical sedimentary rocks? They are formed when minerals dissolved in water, then begins to precipitate out of the solution and you see deposit at the base of water body. Then this type of sedimentary rocks are formed, and examples are like rock salt and dolomite. So, I can show you a typical picture of rock salt and dolomite, rock salt and dolomite. Okay. Now, the third and one interesting category is the organic or biologic sedimentary rocks. So, how it forms? So, formed from the gradual accumulation of biologic material such as shells or dead plant material. So, this is what is the example of this? One is coal, then chert, etc. Now, you see the coal is very important thing. So, very important precious material, right. So, this is nothing but a organic or biologic sedimentary rock. So, typical picture of coal block, a coal, how it looks like. All of us have seen coal also, and chert. Okay. Fine. Next, some of the common sedimentary rocks are like breccia, conglomerate, siltstone, shale, etc. I will show you typical pictures like breccia, conglomerate, siltstone, shale. Okay. So, these are different common sedimentary rocks apart from the diagrams I have shown you, like coal, sandstone. Apart from that, these are also there. Now, next is metamorphic rock, right. So, this metamorphic rock, this how it formed, that is very interesting. Rocks means igneous, sedimentary and older metamorphic rock, when it undergo like physical and chemical or physical or chemical changes, then it forms metamorphic rock. Okay. So, rocks in bracket like as it is written, igneous, sedimentary and old metamorphic rock undergo physical and / or chemical changes and forms metamorphic rock. So, the metamorphic process actually improves the engineering behavior generally. In general, the metamorphic process is improve the engineering behavior, like namely this hardness and strength. So, metamorphic rocks are quite strong also in general. So, metamorphic process improves engineering behavior, which are obviously important for us, the rock engineers who will design structures over there or inside that rock mass. Now, again let us explore the origin of this word. So, the Greek word metamorphos, which means change of form, is the root of the word metamorphic. Metamorphos, Greek word metamorphos, which means change of form. And before transformation, the original rock is called as the protolith. So, what is protolith? It is the before transformation, the original rock is called as the protolith. So, the process is just shown pictorially with a simple animation. You see these different layers of rock. Now, because of this huge rock mass, pressure will come. Also, if there is magma, heat will come from here. So, under pressure and high pressure and temperature, the rock layer what is present over here, that may be a igneous rock layer or a sedimentary rock layer or even a old metamorphic rock layer, that converts into the metamorphic rock formation. Okay. Okay. And some of the examples like marble, quartzite, slate, they are the examples of metamorphic rock. Now, classification of metamorphic rock. So, again at the very beginning of our today's lecture, I have shown you there are primarily two types of metamorphic rock. One is foliated metamorphic rock and another one is non-foliated metamorphic rock. So, what do they mean or what are the differences? Let us see. Basically, the foliated means the parallel arrangement of certain mineral grains that gives the rock a stripped appearance. Okay, let me read it once again. Foliated means the parallel arrangement of certain mineral grains that gives the rock a stripped appearance. On the other hand, non-foliated metamorphic rock do not have a platy or sheet-like structure. Here we will see some platy or sheet-like structure in case of foliated, whereas we will not see in case of non-foliated. Other than that, these foliated metamorphic rocks formed within the earth's interior under extremely high pressure. So, this is primarily developed due to the high pressure. Primary reason is high pressure, whereas non-foliated metamorphic rock formed within the earth's interior under extremely high temperature. So, here main key reason is the temperature, high temperature, because of that non-foliated metamorphic rock forms. Examples like slate, schist, gneiss, etc. for foliated, and in case of non-foliated, marble, quartzite, etc. Right. Now, some of the common metamorphic rocks are like slate, schist, gneiss, marble, quartzite, phyllite, as I have these names I just now I have stated here: slate, schist, gneiss and marble, quartzite. So, those diagrams of the typical pictures of those rocks are also shown over here. This is a slate, a piece of slate. This is schist. Schist will look like this. This is gneiss. This is marble. Okay. This is quartzite, you see, and phyllite. So, these are different types of metamorphic rocks which are found commonly, right. Now, I think overall we have discussed about basic three categories of rock mass based on origin. This igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic rock we have studied, and we have seen different types of metamorphic rocks, igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks. Now, we will just discuss briefly about the geological process of rock formation. Okay. So, this is actually a cycle. You will see that with the help of a diagram I will try to explain this. You see, first, as we have seen, when the igneous rock is forming, then it is forming from the magma or lava, solidification and cooling down, that makes the igneous rock. So, cooling and hardening or solidifying is forming the igneous rock, right. Now, this igneous rock, because of weathering and erosion, what may happen? It may form the sediments. Okay. Then sediments under, as we have seen that under pressure and cementation, it will form what? It will form the sedimentary rock, right. Then again sedimentary rock under high temperature or pressure and or both, this will form the metamorphic rock. Similarly, the igneous rock also under directly this igneous rock can also form metamorphic rock when it comes under high pressure and temperature, right. And not only that, we also have seen a old metamorphic rock also can convert into a new metamorphic rock under high pressure and temperature. Then again metamorphic rock, because of melting at high temperature, it may again form magma. Similarly, what may happen? This metamorphic rock again because of weathering and erosion can develop sediment as igneous rock was developing. And not only that, a old sedimentary rock also because of weathering and erosion can generate sediment, and that again because of pressure and cementation, as we have seen, it may form again a sedimentary rock. Likewise, not only the metamorphic rock, sedimentary rock and igneous rock also can melt at high temperature and can form magma. So, entire this process will keep all means keep on going. So, it is this cycle is keep on moving actually. So, this is very interesting thing. So, we will just once again if we see this, I think I will once again explain this one. So, that you see first quickly I will show you first magma, then cooling and hardening makes or generates igneous rock, then igneous rock is converted to sediments because of weathering and erosion, then sediments because of this compaction and cementation means which is happening because of the pressure, the deposit what is getting deposited, that is under pressure and after cementation it forms sedimentary rock. Then again sedimentary rock under high pressure and temperature forms metamorphic rock. Similarly, igneous rock under high pressure and temperature forms metamorphic rock. Not only that, a old metamorphic rock also form a new metamorphic rock under high pressure and temperature. Then melting of metamorphic rock develops magma. Similarly, this metamorphic rock because of weathering and erosion can form sediment and which may again form the sedimentary rock. Similarly, sedimentary rock also because of old sedimentary rock also under weathering and erosion it may generate sediment, and finally, again under pressure and cementation it may form sedimentary rock, and also obviously sedimentary rock and igneous rock also melt and may form the magma. So, this is an interesting geological process of rock formation that also we have learned today. So, basically today we have discussed about the classification of rock mass based on the origin. We have discussed about igneous rock, sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock and the different geological process of rock formation. So, thank you. So, basically in this module we have another lecture left. So, in our next lecture I will again discuss little bit about the this discontinuities only. In that line only I will discuss a new topic. So, thank you.